So hello everyone, my name is Tim Buck. I'm a Chief Development Architect in SAP Cloud Extensions, and I want to quickly tell you what we recently did. So as you can see, the title of this small talk is How SAP Innovation Can Help with COVID-19. And we've created a Corona Emergency Return app as one of the many names that we use for this. What actually happened there is that some now 4 weeks ago, the German Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced that they will try to get Germans that are stranded abroad in other countries because of travel restrictions and because of movement restrictions that were imposed by the respective governments, and that these Germans will be brought home with a special program where people can actually register and say where they are, and then they will be flown back if possible. And for that, the German Ministry of Foreign Affairs needed an application, and a scalable application that could actually deal with a number of people that would need to apply. And because this was really, this came up, was announced, and there was immediate need for the application, SAP was contacted by the Foreign Ministry on a Tuesday night, so we were asked to create an application where people could actually register to be brought back within, originally it was until the next morning. So we started at, you see this at the next slide, I think it started about at 7 p.m. in the evening, and then we had immediately we had a meeting with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of what they would need and what we should do, and then a number of us worked the whole night through to actually finish this by the next morning. It was finally finished I'd say it was a bit less than 23 hours later. And as you can see, it has since been used by a lot of people. The whole program, meanwhile, brought about 170,000 Germans back home from different countries with special flights that were arranged. And a huge number of that used actually our registration app to get back home. So there's more than 100,000 entries in this registration app. Obviously, it made some news, and it was quite a nice experience to do that overnight and to be able to provide that in a scalable way. It's been working ever since then for such a number of people, and to do something where everyone felt there was real purpose in this, and obviously it was a hard thing to go through the night, but it was also a very nice experience because we all knew this really matters to people. So these are the applications that we created. So on the left-hand side, this is what the citizens used and still use. So where they just have to enter who they are, where they are, how they can be contacted, as well as you can't see it on the screen as it's a bit further down, as well as the fellow travelers that they have. So you can not only register yourself, but also maybe the rest of your family in one go. And then you basically send this form off, and that's it. Then you're registered, right? And on the right-hand side, this is the administration app that's been used by the German Foreign Office or the embassies, where they basically create the list where they see the list of data from the persons. They can filter for the country, for the respective country, and they also have an Excel download here on the left-hand side, so they can actually take that as well. And we've heard stories where people actually they then actually went with the list to the airports to pick up the people there and so on. So it's quite an exciting. We had quite a number of stories in our daily calls afterwards with the foreign ministry there. It's quite exciting, yeah. And this was all possible by using some standard offerings of the cloud platform of the extension program. So it was all based on technology called the cloud application programming model, which lets you really in no time create services. So you can create your database model, you can expose services quite easily, especially our data services, which are fueling our Fiori UIs. What we then also used is our UI technologies. On the left-hand side, we used plain SAP UI5, so a plain freestyle UI5 application that was built on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we used the power of the so-called Fiori elements. Fiori elements, if you don't know, is also based on SAP UI5, but it uses the descriptive power of some of the annotations that you can put into the services that you create with the cloud application programming model to create out-of-the-box applications that follow a certain template, right? Like this one, you immediately get a number of functionality out of the box. And this was the basis of making this all possible. And then, of course, there was a lot of stuff from Cloud Platform that we used. I mean, without going through all of these, we had to obviously make sure that not only the application scales, but because this is private data of a lot of German citizens, the application has to be really secure as well. So we used a lot of our security services that come out of the box from the cloud platform. And also we needed something to for basically for people to get into the application. So they needed to register for the cloud platform, make sure that there is we made sure that the email address as it goes usually that people actually enter does exist, and they had to confirm that it's them that actually registered. So all the usual stuff that you need for such an application where you have different users, in this case, some more than or several 10,000s, testing everything that comes with it. That was all provided by the cloud platform, and we were actually able to put this to pull this off in such a short time. Yeah, I mean, without going into any detail, this shows you which of the services were used in which place. So it's a rough architecture of what we've done there. Right? And that's basically it. As a last thing, I can say when this was still ongoing, I personally was involved or still am involved in the next project, which will also be announced pretty soon, where SAP helps hospitals to maintain the number of free beds they have with or without ventilation, the number of COVID patients, and so on. For them to ensure if there's any free capacity or if there's an overload in one of the hospitals, they can redistribute the patients to somewhere near where there would be still free capacity. So this is also obviously a high profile project, also done with the cloud platform using more or less this same stuff, UI5, Fiori elements, cloud application programming model, HANA obviously as the database. And again, it's a scalable solution, and that works, that we were able to pull off in no time. And this already concludes my talk.